Good morning. Welcome to Pickens High School. My name is Chris Wallace and I am proud to serve as the principal here. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Class of 2019 Secretary, Miss Emily Robinson, to give our invocation.
To this day. Please grant the class of 2019 strength and wisdom as we start the next chapter of our lives. We ask for courage and guidance while we face the challenges that lie before us. Allow us to grow, develop, and flourish as we leave Pickens High School and set foot into the world. In your name we pray, amen. At this time, would the senior chorus members please come forward? Stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the alma mater.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, of the home of the mounted in the Blue Ridge Mountains, high above the plains, stands a noble alma mater, kissed by sun and rain. Pickens high our alma mater, deep in our hearts will hold. Love and loyalty will give thee green and white of home. Years may dim our recollection, change in time will come. While we live, we'll ever cherish friendships here begun. Pickens high our alma mater, deep in our hearts will hold. Love and loyalty will give thee green and white of home.
Thank you. You may be seated. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Pickens High School, I would like to officially welcome you to the commencement exercises for the class of 2019. Today, we celebrate a very important milestone in the lives of the young women and men seated before you. This day comes only after a great deal of time, effort, energy, and hard work have been invested by not only our graduates, but also by many of you who have supported them along the way. At this time, I would like to recognize some of the many individuals who support what we do here at Pickens High School. Please stand when I call your name. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Pickens County School Superintendent, Dr. Carlton Wilson. Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Tony Young. Pickens County Board of Education members, Chairman, Mr. Tucker Green. Vice Chair, Ms. Catherine White. Ms. Sue Finley, Mr. Stephen Smith, and Ms. Joetta Youngblood. Director of Elementary and Middle Curriculum, Ms. Dana Burton. Director of Special Education Services, Ms. Christy Bone. Director of Student Health Services, Ms. Kathy Bowen. Director of Student Services, Ms. Shelley Cantrell. Director of Federal Programs, Ms. Anita Holloway. Chief Human Resource Officer, Ms. Sandy Lehman. Chief of Accountability, Ms. Jill Liberatore. Director of Athletics, Safety, and Security, Mr. Chris Parker. Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Patrick Shea. Director of Community Engagement and Public Relations, Ms. Destiny Shope. Director of Junior High and High School Curriculum, Ms. Anita Walker. Our principals, Harmony Elementary, Ms. Marla Callahan. Hill City Elementary, Ms. Jennifer Halco. Tate Elementary, Ms. Stephanie Hall. Jasper Middle School, Mr. Corey Thompson. Pickens Junior High, Dr. Chad Flatt. And our Dragons Opportunity and Virtual Academy, Ms. Penny Fowler. Please give these individuals a round of applause for the tremendous job they do to serve our students. Thank you. You may be seated. To the faculty and staff here at Pickens High School, thank you for the many hours you have spent helping to create meaningful, worthwhile learning experience for our students. Please stand and be recognized at this time. Join me in giving them a round of applause for their service and dedication to our students in school. Pickens High School staff, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. The next group of individuals that I would like to recognize are those who have decided to selflessly serve in the United States Armed Forces. This honorable commitment should be recognized and commended by each one of us who enjoy the freedoms that men and women sacrifice and defend each and every day around the globe. Former President Ronald Reagan said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We did not pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them for them to do the same." At this time, I want to recognize the members of the class of 2019 who have decided to join the Armed Forces after graduation. Students, please stand when I call your name. Joseph Brooks, Nicholas Brocker, Brenda Cantrell, Jessica Collette, Joshua Edwards, Liam Gardo, Craig Johnson, Kinsley Moss, Jacob Skiba, Dale Smith, Jordan Sneed, Ahmed Sohel, James Sparks, and Daniel Thomas. Please stand and join me in honoring the commitments made by these fine young women and men. Thank you. At this time, I would like to recognize students who have shown significant perseverance by attaining 13-year perfect attendance through their time here in the Pickens County school system. Students, when I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Haley Aiken, Connor Beasley, and Ryan Hedrick. Outstanding saying thank you, students and parents. At this time, I would like to invite Nate Neighbors, Vice President of the Class of 2019, to the podium. He will be introducing our guest speaker chosen by the senior class.
Good morning. As Mr. Wallace said, my name is Nate Neighbors and I'm the Senior Class Vice President. This morning, I'll be giving an introduction to this year's class speaker. He is a fellow Dragon as he graduated from Pickens High School in 1997. From there, he continued his education at the University of Alabama in 2001, where he received his Bachelor's of Science in Athletic Training and became a certified athletic trainer the same year. Following that, he attended the University of Georgia in 2003, where he received his Master's in Sports Administration and had the chance to work with UGA's softball and football team, where they won the SEC championship in softball. Then, he worked at Georgia Southern University as the Assistant Athletic Trainer from 2003 to 2005. Finally receiving his Specialist in Curriculum and Instruction in 2010 at the Lincoln Memorial University and has been a teacher for 14 years and an athletic trainer for 18. Not only is he a wonderful teacher here at the high school, but is also an active member of our community through the First Baptist Church in Jasper as a deacon. He helps plan the mission trips and would always be involved in helping for his church, though I never got the chance to have him in class. Over the last 4 years, whenever you said his name, you could see everyone's face light up with joy. You can really see the impact he's had on his students. Recently, I have had the chance to talk to many of his students, and they've always had the nicest thing to say. Two in particular that stood out to me were, there hasn't been a day in this class where I wasn't crying from laughing. And he always cared about our well-being, to where he'd even stay after school to make sure I was okay. Those quotes alone show his love for his job and for his students. Over these last few weeks, I've had the opportunity to sit down and really learn more about him. I don't think there was a time when I was talking to him when he did not have a smile on his face. He had so much to say about his wonderful wife and kids and how much he cares for them. But in his answers, he always found a way to tie it back into our class. How he is so proud of us, from football to esports to academics. He has been here to support us. To finish this off, I asked him what advice he would give us as we embark on the next part of our lives. Never let go of your dreams because of someone else. There will always be someone to help you find your way. And get out there and enjoy life for a while. Experience new things so that you can come home and tell us all about it. Now, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce our 2019 senior class guest speaker, Mr. Kyle Rasco.
I've always heard that when you're nervous about public speaking, you should picture your audience naked. But as hot as it is, I'm nervous that when I look up, you actually will be. Thank you, Nate, for your kind words. When Nate left last week, he looked like a Sasquatch, and today he looks like a GQ lumberjack. Let me say this directly to you, Nate. Let your beard and hair grow as long as you can while you can, because someday soon, it's either going to turn gray or turn loose. I have two pieces of evidence to illustrate this point. Exhibit A and Exhibit B is a picture my son Chance drew. This is of me. Although I don't remember posing shirtless for this portrait, the drawing captured the essence of me getting older. Seriously, thank you for your kind words. I want to point out another feature of this drawing, and that is my nose. Notice that it is brown, and that leads me to the next part of my speech. Dr. Wilson, Pickens County School Board members, Principal Wallace, Coach Parker, Mr. Young, Mr. Gilliland, Mr. Goebel, PHS administration, every single teacher and parapro at PHS, the office staff, counselors, coaches, custodians, bus drivers, cafeteria ladies, and most importantly, Ms. Sharman Martin. Thank you for all that you do for not only me, but every student in Pickens County. I really appreciate your efforts and for allowing me to be a teacher at PHS. I'd say that's a pretty accurate drawing. Seriously though, I do appreciate all these groups and the ones that I'm certain that I failed to mention. I can tell you without hesitation that the people that I mentioned go above and beyond for your children because they care. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we at PHS are very aware that although we tend to get the majority of praise on graduation day, the teachers at Tate, Harmony, Hill City, Jasper Middle, and Pickens Junior High laid the foundation, and for that we thank you. You don't have to clap if you don't want to. It goes without saying that it takes a village to get these students to this point in their life. Many people are unaware of the amount of time that teachers spend away from their family, especially coaches, administrators, and those involved with extracurricular activities. My sports season lasts all year long, so I'd like to recognize 4 people who I spend less time with than I spend with your children, and that is my own family. Kipton, Christian, and Chance, I am your dad, and it is nice to meet you. I couldn't be a negligent father without the support of a wonderful wife, and I thank Cassie for putting up with me. 2 more groups I want to recognize and show my appreciation to, and I'm sure if you're wearing a graduation gown, you'll want to join me. To the large group sitting in the stands, parents, guardians, grandparents, and family members, thank you for trusting us with your children. You got them here today, and we thank you. Speaking of graduation gowns, did we get new ones? Why am I always the last to know? Yeah. If you see any red lights on me at any point in time in this speech, let me know. Now to the class of 2019. You did it, and you did it in style. You guys are a special group. I don't think a lot of people are aware of all the great accomplishments in the classroom, on the field, in CTAE, on the stage, and in fine arts that this senior class has had this year alone. And to list them would make this the longest speech ever, and it's too blame hot for that, so you'll just have to take my word for it. On May 19th, Morehouse commencement speaker, billionaire Robert F. Smith, announced to the graduating class that he would be generously paying off all of their student loan debt. This is not that type of speech. If you expected that from your speaker, you should have asked President Trump's wealthiest son, Dr. Chad Flatt. You can see the family resemblance. There's the first red light. When I started writing my speech, I wanted to reference the graduation song, and I was told the students narrowed it down to 2 songs. Country Roads by John Denver, which talks about coming home to West Virginia, and I was confused and immediately disappointed in your geographical knowledge. The second song, and the one you chose, is Sweet Victory, and since I'm more of a Merle Haggard fan, I googled this song, and the first thing that popped up was SpongeBob. And I became concerned that maybe you guys aren't quite ready for the world yet. But what do I know? My senior class chose Freebird by Leonard Skinner, and we thought that was we thought that was a great idea until we had to sit through all 10 minutes of it on graduation night. You remember that, Bibbith? Where you at? You knew I was going to do it. Eventually, I read the lyrics of your graduation song, and for those of you who don't have Cartoon Network, I'm going to summarize. It says that life is a winner-take-all concept. Okay, well, as long as they're not dropping it on me, I don't care. It says life is a winner-take-all concept. That the world is yours for the taking as long as you're willing to fight for it. And you know what? Sure, why not? Travel the world, swim with wounded sea turtles, help cure cancer, invent technology that improves some aspect of life, fight for social injustice, fight fires, do your part to cull the whitetail population, sing, act, or perform to help people appreciate the arts, or get an exorbitant salary to argue yet not actually accomplish anything. Or you could also be a congressman. Oh, my bad, that was redundant. But you know what? You don't actually have to leave this zip code to make a difference or change the world. How do you change the world? It's pretty simple. It starts with you. There are a lot of us who are willing to tell others how to change but aren't interested in self-evaluation. Ironically, one of the least active and least healthy people in this school is the same guy who makes a living telling kids how to be healthy and live a long life. Don't wait, that's the wrong picture. It's the Well, you know what? I guess that applies. Go to the next one, though. That's the one I meant. Whoops, my bad. Freudian slip. There's the second line. So here's 3 simple steps for the graduating class of 2019 to remember if you're serious about changing the world. Don't tweet about it or post about it and expect things to change. Let me rant on this for a second. The best advice I can give you guys is put down your phones. The graphics are so much better in real life. The pictures you take with your eyes and brain last longer, and they're far less incriminating. The friendships that you make offline are safer, real, and more important than those you find online. We have to somehow get back to a society that doesn't strive for likes and retweets and favorites and swipes and whatever else you think on social media validates you and gives you worth. I'll let you in on a secret. Your life isn't yours if you constantly care about what other people think. I better see hashtag Preach Rasco going across the world. Don't let anybody hiding behind a screen tell you otherwise. And remember the golden rule. People are so quick to get hurt on social media, but aren't afraid to try and ruin the reputation and livelihood of others. Being brave online does not make you brave. Honestly, that goes for everyone within earshot. Ironically, the same people who say, I don't care what anybody thinks, also spend hours reading random nonsense and comments from others on social media. That's as ironic as the time I realized I just binge-watched the show Friends all by myself. Bottom line, guys, the world isn't going to get better because of what you do on your phones. Even the creators of Facebook have recently said social media has been detrimental to society. Live life in real life, talking to people, experiencing new things in new places. That being said, I found most of my quotes today on Twitter. The second step is do good for people. No trophy you win, award you're given, money you earn, or title you acquire will ever fill your heart like helping those in need. My proudest accomplishments in life are not being a part of the SEC championship team at Georgia, or winning a scholarship from the Atlanta Falcons when I was in high school, or being the athletic trainer for the state championship esports team, or my house, or the letters at the end of my name. Those 2 things were awesome and humbling, but they don't rank up there with what I cherish the most. It is instead the family I've helped create, the money I've helped raise for good organizations and good people who just needed a little push. The people I've been able to help in their time of need, from building wheelchair ramps to buying a meal to helping give a struggling family a merry white Christmas. I've been blessed to have gone over 30 youth mission trips with the First Baptist Church at Jasper in my life. These trips have taken me to the Georgia Camp for the Blind, to a children's home in North Carolina, to help at multiple summer camps and homes for special needs children and adults. I've helped build and repair homes in poverty-stricken areas all over the South. I've been a part of responding to areas ravaged by natural disasters in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Every person in this stadium has experienced the warmth and pride that accompanies selfless generosity. But you know what? Not one person has ever asked me many followers I have on Twitter, or how much money I make, or what my TEAC score was. We live in a world where people are hurting, lonely, hopeless, and helpless. And unless you devote some of your time and talents to help alleviate their pains, you will never truly change the world. If I could gift you anything today, it would be to use empathy and selflessness in your daily lives to assist those who need a helping hand. All right, number 3, my last world-changing advice is simple, and that's to laugh. It's been said that laughter is the best medicine, and that is partly true, though I can't imagine laughing while having the stomach virus would help the situation at all. Having devoted my life to sports medicine and healthcare, I hope that it can always be said of me that my ability to lighten the mood when dealing with injuries is my best attribute. Laughter cannot help every situation, but for the most part, humor helps to lift the burden of hurt. It was reported that 3-year-olds laugh 40 times a day on average, and that 40-year-olds laugh 3 times a day on average. Wouldn't you like to go back to the stress-free days of 3 years old? I actually enjoy being the butt of a joke, because if you can't laugh at yourself, I promise you other people will just do it without your permission. So to give you the best example I can of this, I'm going to tell you a story. Almost 30 years ago, I had a birthday party. My parents allowed me to take 3 friends on our boat to go fishing. One of my guests was Mr. Wallace. The weather was great, the fish were biting, and we had a ball ending the day by splashing around the lake. At the end, my mom met us at a picnic table where we had pizza and birthday cupcakes. I remember these cupcakes well because Mom had decorated them with little BB-looking sprinkles, and I didn't like them, so I just took a couple bites. Growing up in Jasper pre-Facebook, the way that you would tell everyone about what monumental events were happening in your life was via the Pickens Progress. You could open it up every week and see that Tim Tom had a swimming party at Arrowhead or Betty Sue celebrated at the park. So 2 weeks after my birthday, I was excited to see what news there was of my party for all the world to see. At the time, I didn't realize the reach of the progress, but you get the general concept. I opened up the paper and there we were, smiling and wet, all of us sitting on the boat with my dad. Then I read what my mom had written. Kyle Rasco celebrated his birthday with his friends on Carter's Lake last week. It was a beautiful day and the fish were biting. Mom always did have a way with words. She was real good at that. Rob caught the most fish. David caught the biggest fish. Chris Wallace got the wettest. And the birthday boy Kyle ate the most cupcakes. That is how she decided to summarize and immortalize the special day in my life. Now you need to understand, as a child that grew up shopping at the more husky section of Kmart, this was less than flattering to me. I ran up to Mom and asked her what she was thinking, and she laughed. My dad, he turned his back to walk off, and I saw his shoulders jumping up and down. He was laughing. My friends all laughed. I did not laugh. About 10 years later, and after several sessions with a therapist, I found that article in a book at my parents' house. Mom and Dad still laughed about it, and they still do. As a matter of fact, everyone I tell that story to laughs, sometimes uncontrollably. I'm pretty sure it's Coach Parker's favorite story. I've told my mom that on the day I put her in the nursing home, I'm going to take that article to her door. I'm going to hand her a cupcake, and we'll see who gets the last laugh. I'm just kidding. I love my mama. She makes very memorable cupcakes. This world needs a lot less vanity and a whole lot more laughter. And right now, there isn't one person here that isn't ready to shed these graduation gowns. Because like I said to many of you seniors in the fall, these gowns are just not important. What is important are the hats you're wearing. Because in a few minutes, you're going to sling those throwing stars in the air. And when they land, your new journey begins. I pray that it's a world-changing journey for you. One you've lived in real life. One you've used to do good things for people. And one filled with laughter. Living, helping, and laughing. That is how you change the world. Class of 2019, congratulations. I'm honored and humbled to have been your class speaker, and I hope I didn't let you down. May God bless you wherever He leads you. Now go out and change the world.
Thank you, Mr. Rasco. At this time, I would like to invite Ms. Rosa Willis, our salutatorian to the class of 2019, up to the podium to deliver her address.
Hello, good morning. I hope everybody's as excited as I am to be here. As Mr. Wallace said, my name is Rosa, and I'm the salutatorian this year. Traditionally, this speech is supposed to be a word of advice from myself to the class. However, I'm 18. I don't have a lot of wisdom to give away, so instead I'm going to start by telling a few stories about our graduating class. From day one, our classes refused to take no's and answer. In elementary school, we had this awful project for spelling and vocabulary that had 1 or 2 assignments due every day of the week. Our class asked if we could turn everything in at the end of the week instead of once every day, and our gifted coordinator and teacher both said no. Michael Burrell, sitting right over there, had the bright idea to make a petition to change the assignment, and we all followed along. We got most of our class and most of the teachers in the school to sign. Our English teacher and gifted coordinator were very angry, and we were all given a long speech about hard work and respect, but they changed the assignment. Next story. Freshman year, our class had lots of kids taking AP or accelerated classes meant for sophomores and juniors. 3 of my classmates and I took and passed the AP Lang exam freshman year despite having no support from anyone outside of the English department. We were the first kids to do this, yet the program was scrapped because it was too much change. This year, we have kids working at hospitals, automotive shops, and even vets' offices as interns and employees. We have so many students that have already graduated early and now have full-time jobs or are already sophomores in college. What I'm trying to get at is that the class of 2019 isn't your average graduating class. We've always pushed for change, and that is a quality that will get you so far in today's world. So if I have one good piece of advice to give the class, it's to never stop initiating and supporting change. Change is what is going to move the world away from fossil fuels, cure diseases, and maybe even save the bees. So as a note to everyone out there who's afraid of change or just wants things to stay the good old way, get ready, because our class is bringing change into the world after today. To end quickly, I have a lot of thank yous, so please bear with me. First, I'd like to thank my parents. Without y'all and your love and support, I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I am now. I love you so much, and I can't say thank you enough times. Next, I'd like to thank the Nixes, Mr. and Mrs. Nix. They took their own time to drive me to Berry College and bully the financial aid people for me. I can't repay you guys for everything you've done for me. Thank you to Charmin Turner at Berry for sticking her neck out for me and being the connection that I needed. Thank you to my sister for always being a shoulder to cry on and letting me kidnap her dog from time to time. Thank you to Skylar and his family for being a huge support system to me for the past 3 years. And last, but finally not least, thank you to all my friends, especially Hannah, Emily, Mary, Ian, and Caroline for making this year the best and most fun I've had out of all my 4 years at Pickens High. I love y'all, and I can't wait to see the great things you do after today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rosa. At this time, I would like to invite Miss Emily Robinson, our valedictorian for the class of 2019, to the podium to deliver her address.
I wanted to start my speech by saying, good morning, Pickens High School. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, because that's what we heard on the announcements every day. But I was told that that would not be okay if I had everyone stand up. But those are the words that the class of 2019 heard every morning for 4 years on the morning announcements. We would come to school, say the pledge, and remain standing for a moment of quiet reflection while the teachers scanned the room to see if anyone's jeans had holes above the knee. So that's how we started our school day, where it took a lot of support from our teachers and family to get us to today, where we finally graduate. Thank you to my family for always believing in me, Mr. Nix for putting me in advanced classes, and Mr. Estes for the daily fist bump or stern look. I do not thank him for all the times he tried to trip me in the hall. So I wrote this 2 days ago at midnight, way past the day that it was supposed to be due. And I feel like there's this stereotype in everyone's minds of what a successful person is supposed to be. You're supposed to be on time, turn everything in by the deadline, super outgoing, incredibly neat, wanting to be more involved. But that's just unrealistic. I'm like a giant mess most of the time. And here I am getting to talk to all of you about my path to success. I think the fact that we idealize success and what you have to be in order to attain it is what makes teenagers think that it's unachievable. All you have to do is make a plan and have the motivation to stick with it. That's literally it. I showed up every day this semester, sweatpants, iced coffee, angry look on my face, because that's who I am. Throughout life, people are constantly going to try to tell you what's best for you. Sometimes they have the experience to back it up, sometimes they do not. You're expected to have this roadmap of your life all planned out on a bulletin board in your head with like Post-it notes and highlighters. But when you think about it, the portion of the population that actually does that is mainly serial killers. So, all jokes aside, what I'm really trying to convey to the class of 2019 is that right now, at this moment in time, we're at a crossroads. And I want to let all of you know that whatever you choose to do is okay. No matter what anyone else has told you or judged you for, the path that you choose is going to be the right one. Because that's the life that you want to live. Whether you move to a different country, never go past Canton, or maybe you want to do absolutely nothing, that is okay. Because that's what you want to do. And you can't live your life for other people. Just know that your dreams are possible as long as you don't make your decisions based off of fear disguised as practicality. Live your life creatively, set your own path, never settle for less. So yes, while it's important that you do your homework, answer emails, be polite, don't for 1 second let anybody tell you that being yourself is not enough. Thank y'all, have a good day.
Thank you, Emily. Dr. Wilson, Superintendent of Schools, honorable members of the Pickens County Board of Education, county office officials, principals, parents, and guests. The faculty of Pickens High School and I confirm that these students receiving a diploma today, which are gathered and assembled here this morning on June 1st, 2019, have completed all requirements for high school set forth by the state of Georgia and the Pickens County Board of Education, and that they are all qualified to participate in this graduation exercise. Dr. Wilson and counselors, please come forward to the front of the podium to assist with diplomas. At this time, I would like to ask our valedictorian, Emily Michelle Robinson, to come forward and receive her diploma. Our salutatorian, Rosa Glen Willis. Our senior class president, Olivia Marlissa Fountain. Our senior class vice president, Nathaniel Shane Neighbors. Our senior class treasurer, Miles Lewis Gregg. At this time, I will turn the podium over to our class president, Miss Olivia Fountain, who will call the rest of the names for the class of 2019.
Ellie Ann Abner. Haley Angeline Aiken. Audrey Nicole Allen. Chase Nathaniel Allen. Emmeline Faith Ashbeck. Skylar Lane Atkins. Hattie Elise Baker. Elizabeth Marie Barco, Emma Shinru Barnes, Elijah Levi Bates, Connor James Beasley, Bailey Geneva Beck, Alexander Graham Bell, Jeannie Adele Berry, Clay Henry Biddy, Kyra Lee Biggins, Seth Mitchell Bishop, Noah Emery Blackwell, Shaman Edward Boone, Desiree Faith Borg, Miles Addison Bramley, Raven Sidney Bray, Nicholas Chase Brocker, Amberly Cecile Brooks, Destiny Valerie Brown, William Andrew Brownell, Justin Delos Reyes Broses, Shannon Bland Bryan Jr., Ian Luke Burge, Michael Ryan Burrow, Haley Brooke Buttram, Dayton Thomas Callahan, Brenda Carol Cantrell, Nicholas John Cantrell, Dustin Lewis Carriaccio, Bailey Lorraine Carter, Saravina Marie Carroll, Bethany Grace Carver, Jordan Lamar Cash, William Dean Castles, Rosario Castillo, Christopher Nathaniel Chance, Tyler Oakley Chastain, Burley Elijah Chester, Destiny Elaine Chester, Thomas Bradley Chumley, Ryan Jin Chong, Leanne Danielle Clendenin, Brian Matthew Collette, Jeb Paul Collette,
Good job, Jeff!
Jessica Lee Collette,
Yeah, they snowing back there.
Xavier Earl Collis, Anna Elise Coriel, Tyler James Coulter, Katie Helen Coward, Ansley Morgan Coyle, Karen Marie Curry, Wesley Lee Curtis, Nancy. Carlene Elise Daniel. Jeffrey Glen de Galliford Jr. Kirsten Rose DeCarly. Jasmine Juanita Delgado. Catherine Elizabeth Dinsmore. Ivy Nicole DePrima. Emma Catherine DePuma. Bailey Miles Despain. Kimsey Catherine Dowda. Madison Olivia Drake. Cameron Lee Duckett. Sabrina Cheyenne Duckett. Raymond Dean Dunaway. Elizabeth Anastasia Duncan. James Matthew Edmonston. Jacob Dylan Edwards. Joshua Alexander Edwards. Dalton Sloan Elrod. William Robert Evans. Vivian Fabian. Amanda Brooke Ferris. Hannah Christine Fields. Kathleen Hope Fisher. Colby Weston Fletcher. Thomas Richard Boystrop III. Nolan Aaron Foster. Alexis Brooke Fountain. Avery Carl Franklin. Austin Raymond Freer. Caleb Christopher Free. Emily Francis Free. Chandler Deshawn Freeman. Catalina Elizabeth Funk. Liam Isaac Gardo. Dylan Andrew Gates. Abigail Madison Gerard. Andrew James Gibson. Cassidy Camille Gill. Joseph Bradley Gillespie. Abigail Grace Gleason. Haley Dina Goebel. Jackson Cade Godfrey. J. Lawrence Gold. Vanessa Lynn Golden. Noah Ryan Goodwin. Zachary Maurice Goss. Cheyenne Elizabeth Gregg. Austin Daniel Griffin. Autumn Grace Griffin. Dylan Earl Grove. Ashley Rena Hancock. Hannah Mae Hardison. Andrew Harrison Harper. John Thomas Harper. Terry Peyton Harrington. Trevon Roger Hawkins. Ansley Marissa Hayes. Sydney Blair Haynes. Angela Page Head. Brinkley Rose Head. Dylan Joseph Head. Ryan Thomas Hedrick. Julia Taylor Henderson. Samuel Peyton Henderson. Stephanie Michelle Henderson. Brooklyn Nicole Henley. Alyssa Lee Harry. John Thomas Hightower. Austin Eugene Hitt. Matthew Dylan Hollingshed. Andrew Ryan Hudson. Marshall Brooks Holsey. Gregory Jackson Hyde. Joseph Earnhardt Ingram. Morgan Leanne Jackson. Ethan Chase Jarrett. Craig Michael Johnson. Emily Marie Johnson. Landon Avery Johnson. Gabrielle Natania Jones. Jackson Andrew Jones. Logan Preston Jones. Stephen Mark Caplett. Victoria Lee Kicklider. Alexander Kane Kirby. Emily Brooke Kirby. Jacob Michael Kirkhoff. Elizabeth Ann Couch. Tyson Neal Kuiper. Adrian Haley Laster. Lawrence. Hannah Morgan Lawson. Tanner Joseph Ledford. Troy Searles Lee. Austin David Leister. Ivory Ann Lester. Victoria Nicole Leverett. Jeffrey Franklin Lillard. Trenton Mills Lund. Andrew Garrett Macomb. Cody Nathaniel Manus. Lucius James Marshall. Leslie Mariana Martinez Ferrer. Jesus Philippe Mata. Jonathan Lee Matthews. Lila Elizabeth MacArthur. Jeffrey Allen McCoy. Bradford Brock McNabb. Zachary Austin Meadows. Madison Lahoma Meeks. Emmett Grover McCure. Justin Robert Messenger. Joshua Dylan Mills. Caitlin Brooke Millsap. Eisley Michelle Mentor. Hayden Michael Mooney. Henry Landon Moore. Kinsley Nicole Moss. Caitlin Grace Mulkey. Dylan Skylar Mullinax. Marcos Chavez Munoz. James Ray Nagel. Savannah Bell Neighbors. Maddie Jane Nicholson. Autumn Skylar Nolan. Skylar Hayes Knowles. Elijah Cooper Odom. Megan Lynn Owens. Brandon Dylan Pack. Ethan Daryl Payne. Sydney Ray Pearson. Ricardo Perez. Nicholas James Perkins. Brittany Elaine Philo. Thomas Brian Pinson. Hannah Faye Coleman. Harper Andrew Coleman. Abigail Kate Powell. Owen Dylan Pritchard. Edwin Paul Pomerejo. Caleb Hayden Ray. Tyler Jacob Ray. Shelby Nicole Reese. Charles Tanner Reeves. Austin James Redford. Chandler Edward Rhodes. Elisha Christian Robertson. Isaiah James Roberts. Eric William Robinson. Emily Ann Rowland. John Michael Ryle. Bradley Ryan Sands. Michael Gabriel Sanders. Abigail Audrey Santiago. Kennedy Lane Satterfield. Alexis Michelle Sharaus. Madeline Mitchell Shelton. Elizabeth Rose Sheriff. Dalton James Silvers. Emily Alexis Silvers. Olivia Celine Simmons. Will everyone please join me in a moment of silence to remember Jordan Matthew Simons. Thank you. Jacob Michael Skiba. Andrew Tyrone Smith. Christopher Caswell Smith. Sherrard Smith. Madison Michelle Smith. Jordan Prescott Sneed. Ahmed Sohail. James Harley Sparks. Jack Colin Spears. Carissa Ann Stekovich. Shelby Brooks Stevenson. Matthew Aiden Stewart. Alexandria Gabrielle Stroop. Aaron Everett Sutton. Katie Maria Sutton. Laura Lou Swansea. Logan Michael Tourette. Daniel John Thomas. Garrett Palmer Thompson. Kirsten Michelle Thrasher. Nolan Clay Thuma. Allison Riley Talaisel. Bailey Ashton Truitt. Josiah Allen Tucker. Isabel Faith Upton. Efren Vega Gutierrez. Brooklyn Mackenzie Waite. Caroline Anna Walters. Heather Lynn Ward. Damian Lee Watkins. Dylan Michael Wells. Michael Devin West. Tyler Bryant Westbrook.
Oh man, I'll see you later.
Isaac Nelson Westerfield. Sebastian Jeremiah Wisnick. Madison Yvonne Whitley. Alexandrian Brianne Whitlock. Dewey Shane Wigington. Kristen Lorraine Williams. Tori Madeline Williams. Autumn Marie Winchell. Hannah Nicole Winkler. Truman Garrett Wofford. Michael Scott Woodall. Bradley James Wright. Carlina Grace Youngblood.
I would like to introduce the senior class treasurer, Mr. Miles Gregg.
Good morning. As Mr. Wallace said, my name is Miles Gregg, and as the senior class treasurer, I am here to introduce the 2019 graduating class song, Sweet Victory by David Glen Eisley. This song is special for many of us because it is a reminder of the simple days of our childhood, watching cartoons without a care in the world. Many of us remember hearing this song as a child in SpongeBob SquarePants Season 2, Episode 15, titled Band Geeks. This episode sees Squidward attempt to get together a marching band in order to perform at the underwater equivalent of the Super Bowl, the Bubble Bowl. Squidward's pride is on the line as he is banking on the band being successful in order to impress his rival Squilliam. Throughout the episode, Squidward is repeatedly let down by his bandmates until the point of giving up. He is defeated and at his lowest point when SpongeBob and all the band members surprise everyone with an unbelievable performance of Sweet Victory. This episode teaches a powerful lesson of trust and perseverance that has just as much relevance today as it did when we were young. While today we celebrate how far we've come, it is critical to understand that having faith in our parents, teachers, mentors, and most importantly ourselves is what has led us to this point, and that we have so much more waiting for us beyond the horizon. As we move forward into the next phase of our lives, we must realize that the future is ours for the taking, and graduating from high school shows that against all odds, we can achieve sweet, sweet victory. Thank you.
Thank you. Please welcome back to the podium the senior class president, Miss Olivia Fountain, to deliver the class president's speech.
Hey guys, my name is Olivia Fountain, and as mentioned, I am the president of the class of 2019. Today, we are all seated on the football field, ready to get up, throw our caps, and start the next chapter of our lives. We have waited for this moment for 13 years, and the time has finally come. Whether you're going to college, the workforce, or the armed forces, we will always have one thing in common. Our roots are planted here at Pickens High School. Here is where we started our journey together, waiting to blossom into the people we have become today. During the past 4 years, we have sat in classrooms together, we have participated in clubs together, and we've even sat here at the stadium watching and cheering on our Dragons. This school is where we have planted the seeds for our future. I would like to share with you some thoughts about life that can be learned through observing a tree. Trees are strong, sturdy, and ever-growing. They are essential to life, but they also embody life itself. They are planted, pruned, cared for, and grow constantly. Like life, trees have their good and their bad times. They encounter droughts, but they also bloom and flourish in the spring. I would like to share some life advice that you can learn from observing a tree. Remember to bend before you break. Trees encounter strong storms, but the strong and grounded ones are still standing once it passes. Life may throw obstacles in your way that may feel insurmountable. Life may push you to your breaking point, but remember to bend and adapt to the struggles you may face. Life's obstacles and bends in the road often lead to great and glorious destinations. Trees leave seeds and pollen everywhere. Anything you do will leave an impression on someone. It is important to always be kind, always be helpful, and always be mindful of others. One small, simple action may be the difference in someone's day. Know that people look up to you. You do not have to be in any kind of leadership roles for someone to admire you. A younger sibling, a friend, anyone can look at you and decide that you are their role model. So make sure that you always leave a positive impact on others. Go out on a limb. Trees start off as a small, scrawny sapling before branching out and fulfilling its full potential. Through life, you cannot be afraid to branch out and try new things. I know that we all remember Miss Frizzle and her famous slogan, "Take chances, make mistakes, and get messy." Though Miss Frizzle takes the magic school bus on wild and unbelievable adventures, she and all of her students always make it back. Never be afraid of taking chances. A new job or opportunity might be thrown your way, and that may lead you to your wildest dreams. So take a chance and go out on a limb. You never know what you might find. Another thing that I have learned is a tree cannot properly grow without the care and nourishment it receives from its caretaker. I have learned this firsthand because I'm really bad at gardening. The most important thought I would like to share with you all is to always thank those who shape you and who care for you. We need to reminisce on all the times our loved ones have made a sacrifice to ensure that we succeed, or how many times a teacher made us excited to learn or brightened our day. Without the love and support of our parents and teachers, we would not be here today. Their nurturing and constant care is the reason that we are able to gather here today and say that we are the Pickens High School class of 2019. Never forget to say thank you to the ones who lifted you up or the ones who made you who you are today. As we leave Dragon Drive for one last time, remember your time here at Pickens High School. Remember your friends, your teachers, and your teammates. Remember all of those times walking through the halls, trying not to be late, or all the times sitting around a lunch table just hanging out talking with your friends. These are the moments we are going to cherish as we leave Pickens High School today. Know that even though we may grow apart, we will always be connected at the roots. Thank you. For the moment you've all waited for. At this time, will the class of 2019 please take their tassels and move them from the right to the left. Congratulations!
In closing, I would like to say that it has been a blessing to be given an opportunity to serve as your principal for the last 2 years. As a product of our district and a staff member for the last 11 years, I have an enormous sense of pride as I stand before you today. This is an amazing venue that we are assembled in, and I'm honored to call this community, this district, and this school my home. As with any organization, I could not possibly do what I do each day without a great support system. I would like to recognize a few individuals that have been instrumental to making this event and our school year possible. Dr. Wilson and Mr. Young, thank you for your constant support and guidance. Board members, thank you for your prayers, your support, your guidance, and everything that we do, we give you credit for your support each and every day here. Ms. Sharman Martin, my administrative assistant and the brains behind this ceremony and all of our daily operations. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for all you do. Assisting her with preparations for today and helping run our school each day, Ms. Sharon Childers, Ms. Candy DePrima, Ms. Shanna Luddington, Ms. Beth Odom, Ms. Sonia Gossett, and Mr. Frankie Sparks. Our school cannot run without each of you. Thank you. To our PHS counselors who work diligently with our students and staff each day and also help make today possible, Ms. Kathy Harrell, Ms. Whitney Hancock, and Ms. Marjorie Potts. Thank you all. My administrative staff, assistant principals, Ms. Anita Walker, Mr. Wayne Cronett, Mr. Dwayne Cronick, Mr. Chris Williams, and Mr. Rick Goble, who also serves as our CTA director. You are an invaluable part of our team, and I'm grateful to be surrounded by such caring, hardworking, dedicated individuals. A special thank you to Ms. Angela Quarles, Mr. John Lowe, Mr. Patrick Shea, Mr. Joey Satterfield, Mr. Michael Oog, who helped sort out the many technical and sound details that were vital to making this possible today. Ms. Valerie Bowen, our choral director, thank you for leading our talented chorus students in their performance today. Sheriff Donnie Craig, our school resource officers, the Pickens County Sheriff's Department, for all that you do for our schools and community to keep us safe each and every day, and for directing our traffic in and out of Dragon Drive today. We owe a debt of gratitude to you. Our field setup crew, Mr. Tommy Tatum, Mr. Jason Cantrell, and Ms. Cassidy Bias, and all of the CTA folks. The field setup is perfect, and we're grateful for you for taking the time and energy to make that happen. Mr. Stacy Gilliland, Chief Operations Officer, and the crew for campus preparations today, thank you for all you do for us each day and all throughout the year. Ms. Sherry Howell, Transportation Supervisor, and our drivers for providing safe transportation to and from for all of our students all year long, and especially for today. To ETC, LJ Telephone Company, for creating a live stream today and the technical expertise you provide to us constantly. To the students, faculty, and staff at Pickens High School, thank you for allowing me to be your principal this year and for all the great memories that were made. Last but not least, I would like to thank my wife Linda, my son Nathan, my parents, and the rest of my family who support me in this role. I could not be standing here today without your love and support. Class of 2019, congratulations, you've officially made it. I am extremely proud of each of you. Go forth, pursue greatness, and follow your dreams. Olivia, come on up, the stage is yours.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab a selfie with you guys and a selfie with you guys, and then we'll go right.
The class of Pickens High School 2019 graduation ceremony. Thank you and congratulations to all of our graduates.